Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all well. Welcome to my film and TV channel. We have a movie review to look at today. A drama romance. So there's not much romance in it. It's more drama than romance. Written and directed by William Nicholson. Adapted from his 1999 stage play, The Retreat from Moscow. Sounds good, doesn't it? But yeah, not really anything to do with Retreat from Moscow. I think it's to do with some toy soldiers in the film, that. But there you go. Yeah, today we're going to have a look at Hope Gap. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications. Make sure your notifications are set to public if you want to get to know what people are putting out, if anyone you subscribe to. And please check the playlist. There's lots of stuff on movies and TV dramas, posters, quizzes, etc, etc. And you will notice some, if you're new to the channel, you'll notice some stuff on my football team as well, Manchester City, both history and present, so there's lots of stuff on there. But if you're only interested in films and TV, stick with me here. If you know anyone who perhaps like the football ones, please point them in my direction. I'll be very, very grateful. Yeah, but enough to keep us occupied here on the film and TV channel. Right, please, I'm trying to get 500 subscribers by Christmas 2020. I'm 40 oddish, slowly getting there. If you can sub for me, if you're not subbed already, or point someone in my direction, I'll be very appreciative. All comments, please leave your comments. Not necessarily on this film, anything you want, just leave your comment. It's nice to know you're out there, and please, if you can't leave a comment, just to know you're out there. It's nice to get views, but it's nice to get thumbs up as well. Right, Hope Gap. Classed as a 12A, 100 minutes with a runtime of just under, actually. There's not loads of credits. I think the runtime was about 96, 97 minutes. As I said, it's classed as a drama romance. Yeah, not sure. I mean, romance as in breaking up romance, perhaps. But there you go. It's based on William Nicholson's own life experience. A bit more on that later. When his own parents' marriage broke down after 33 years. And I assume Mr. Nicholson's not a young man. So, yeah, and this is going back in time. A little bit more on that later in my little critique. The film stars Annette Bening, Bill Nighy, Josh O'Connor, Aisha Hart, Ryan McKen, Stephen Pacey and Nicholas Burns. But obviously Annette Bening, Bill Nighy and Josh O'Connor are the three main guys in it. And what's it about? Well, Grace lives an idyllic life, or she thinks it's idyllic, in a British seaside town, but her world would soon come crashing down when her husband of 29 years tells her he's leaving her for another woman. Through stages of shock, disbelief and anger, and with support from her son, sort of, Grace ultimately regains her footing while learning it's never too late to be happy. Interesting synopsis, that, actually. Not quite covered that in the film, I don't think, or certain aspects of that. What's it getting? Well, Rotten Tomatoes, 64% positivity based on 83 reviews. That's 53 fresh and 30 rotten. So there's quite a hefty whack of people not liking it. The consensus, Annette Bening and Bill Nighy are just about worth the price of admission, but Hope Gap lacks enough depth to really leave an impact. Yeah, I mean, it's quite a reasonable summary, I think. The audience rating, they're a bit kind, just slightly more kinder to it. Only 19 ratings as I'm recording this, and it's getting a 68% positivity. That's okay, that's not too bad. But the Metacritics, yeah, that magic 60% we want, don't we? The Metacritic's only 58%, so just a little bit below. From 23 critics reviews, scores anywhere between 4 out of 10 and 7.5 out of 10. Washington Post Alan Zilberman was one of the least likers. He only gave it 5 out of 10 and wrote, "A slight yet inoffensive tale, inspiring little more than a shrug, thereby making it hard to either wholeheartedly endorse or strongly criticise." Variety's Peter de Brugger, he gave it 6 out of 10, so he gave it a watchable score. Slow and stuffy, like a filmed play, but also considerably more nuanced and mature than your typical relationship drama. So a bit of positivity. And yeah, Chicago Sun-Times is Richard Roper. He did like it, 7.5 out of 10, and said, to Annette Bening's credit, she finds just the right notes to illustrate Grace's capacity for love, as well as her special gift for never let up and driving you a little bit crazy. Yep, users, this is the big one, isn't it? The users on Internet Movie Database, we're getting 6.7 out of 10, so that's quite a healthy score for this sort of film, and that's over 1,800 reviews. So, yeah, that's positive. That's a good sign. Internet Movie Database, 6.7 out of 10. And some of the comments, here we go. This is a brilliant portrayal of the breakup of a marriage and the mental breakdown of a wife. William Nicholson both wrote and directed this artistic and sensitive little cinematic masterwork. The story examines relationships and the breakdown of marriage in a manner that is heartbreaking yet beautifully introspective. These are... I've sort of a little hint of someone connected with the film writing these. Are so well written and so well versed. Yeah, someone else wrote a slow-paced, poignant film about a family breaking up. Benning, Nighy and O'Connor delivered captivating performances with such subtlety and conviction. Brilliant script and direction. Overall, it was poetry in motion. I'm sorry, that's people connected with this. I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'll say what I think, but I have no faith in those first three I've read out to you. Yeah, not a nice story, but a story well told, said someone else. Yeah, so let's take that one with a little bit of pinch of salt. I mean, I'm not going to say the film's bad, but please, some of the prose there is certainly from someone who can write. Let's be honest about it. That isn't from your normal Johnny go, come lately guy who's doing a review. That some of that prose, some of the written word there was a little bit, yeah, just a bit debatable. Who's left them reviews? Yeah, but it is one of those sort of films. It would attract that sort of. Let's be honest about it. I'm going to talk about it now. My little views of it. Yeah, well, let's talk about it now, and I'll tell you what I mean anyway. Yeah, so Bernard's things about this. I mean, yeah, there's supposed to be humour in this. The best, and let's more say humorous bits, which there are, because there is humour in this breakup drama. And when Benning's character loses it with her estranged husband and the solicitor, etc., etc. Unfortunately for me, anyway, she's not given enough free rein to do that often enough in the film. There's just only 2 or 3 elements of it, 2 or 3 parts of the film where she does that, and that's when the film's at its best. But unfortunately, it's very little and not very often. It was all a little bit anticlimactic, certainly up to the ending. I wanted to know more about the son, but he was just sort of a mediator, really. He was always on the fringes of the story without really getting involved. As far as a married couple, we learnt very little either, apart from how on earth did they stay together for so long, which was perhaps understandable a generation. This is what I'm getting about the age of Mr. Nicholson who wrote this. I mean, perhaps understandable a generation or two ago, but not particularly now. So even though the film is set sort of more modernish times, I think it should have been set 20, 30 years ago, perhaps, when couples are more likely to stay together, although there's obviously not a lot to see of why they're staying together. So that was a big criticism for me. It just didn't fit right with the time scale of the film, when it was set. The poetry, the poetry will affect, and obviously a couple of those writers there seem a little bit into poetry as well. I sadly want to like poetry, but I sit there and I understand the gravitas of it, etc. But I've never been able to fully appreciate it. In all fairness, modern or old poetry, it's never really appealed to me. And like this film, I wanted to like it, but there was just not enough in it for me to like it. So a bit like poetry, really. I want to like it, but I just there's just nothing there that I can sort of hang on and sort of hang my hat on, if you like. Nighy and Benning were just about watchable together. Chemistry was okay-ish. I mean, obviously the chemistry wasn't very good because obviously it reflected the relationship. But Nighy does struggle. I mean, Nighy to carry doesn't really have the charisma. I do like Bill Nighy, but he's not really got the charisma or the presence to stand out in this sort of role, even if it was the stage play, for instance, which is what it was based on. And this does have a stage play feel to it. He does struggle a little bit. I say he is hard work for an hour and 40 minutes because he is Bill Nighy at the end of the day. He's not overly exciting to watch. He is a character actor that obviously you can dip in and out of in a film, but to be one of the main characters, it's pushing it a bit for Bill Nighy, I think. And Benning as well. Benning got a lot of criticism for accent, but I thought it was okay. And as I said, if they'd given it a little bit more rein to show her anger in a humorous way, that would have been sort of made it a little bit better for me. It's just not enough of it, unfortunately. And as for Josh O'Connor, well, the problem I've got with him now is I'm actually watching him. I've become used to watching him as Prince Charles in the Crown series. So to be honest with you, that's all I can imagine at the moment. He certainly wasn't giving anything that much to do in this movie, apart from looking very pained throughout it, which again, as I said, didn't stop me thinking, oh, it's Prince Charles, what's he doing there? But Hey, there you go. Yeah, this is a stage play. It's not a film, despite all the pros from the people who saying it was brilliant before. And as I said, it does get a reasonable mark on Internet Movie Database. How much of that is from ringers who have some connection, I'm not too sure. It is a nice film, but as I say, it just, for me, there's not enough in it for me. It is a stage play where you want a couple of good actors going at each other in a way, and that never really happened. You had one actor who was willing to go at someone, but you had one who just wanted to sit there and take it. So I don't think it would have really worked, certainly as a stage play with these two in it, although that's what it's based on. Obviously, if it's a bit more grit to the stage play, it would have been a lot better, I think. Yeah, I mean, I sort of hoped all the way through it that the name of the movie obviously was Hope Gap, these cliffs obviously in the film, and I sort of half hoped in the film that someone was going to take a leap off these cliffs just to liven it up a little bit, because it was a little staid and boring for me. And as I say, I do appreciate a good drama, a good relationship drama, but there just wasn't enough in it. And as I said, Benning did her best, Nighy did what Nighy can do, but apart from that, it was all a little bit bland for me, unfortunately. So yeah, my rating for this, I won't put anyone off watching. As I said, if you like poetry, some great little poetry, some great little poems quoted in it. It's fantastic, and I wanted to feel something from the poetry that was read out, or obviously the in the background where you're watching a scene. Obviously there's obviously a narration, if you like, but I just it didn't do much for me, even though I can appreciate it would do for other people. So yeah, I'm not going to put you off watching it, so I'm going to give it that score where it tells you that I didn't like it. But please, you watch it and let me know what you think. I'm gonna give it a Berners rate. I'm going to give it a Berners rating of 5.5 out of 10, which is just below my sort of watchable rating. There's not really much chance ever that I will sit through that. I get that hour and 40 minutes again to watch this film, in all fairness, even though I do like Bill Nighy and Annette Bening. There's not enough in it for me. So yeah, if you're perhaps if you're a lover of poetry, then you will appreciate it a lot more. But yeah, not my cup of tea, unfortunately, and just not enough for a lot of people, I don't think. Just not enough going on, which is a shame. It had good potential, but never quite worked. Poster, yeah, again, if you like the actors, I mean, it's fair enough, is it? But it's pretty bland, isn't it? I'd have to say the film's better than the poster, to be honest with you. I think that poster up there, I wouldn't, it's not very exciting, is it? Which the film isn't, but it's even less exciting, perhaps. So I'm going to give the poster 5 out of 10. So today, the scores on the doors: the film, 5.5 out of 10. My sincerest apologies for this, because it is such a nice attempt, a nice film, but just too nice and too bland, unfortunately. And I'm going to give the poster 5 out of 10. So the film gets victory just about, but on 2 fairly low scores. So let me know in the comments if you get to watch this what you think, and if you're into poetry. And as I said, my apologies to the people earlier who left reviews, but I cannot honestly believe that they were not in some way connected with the film to write such gushing prose as they did earlier on. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please check my links on screen. If you follow or friend me on Facebook, I do check every couple of days and follow and friend everyone back. And please, if you can check out my little website. I used to have a video shop if you watch my vlogs back in the 90s and the 2000s. So I still sell old and rare DVDs, movie posters from the 90s and 2000s, some great films, some great actors on there. I've got thousands of posters in the back there that I sell, and some board games as well. So if you check out moviegamenostalgia.com, my little day job, that'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I'm sorry it wasn't as hopeful as I would have liked, and as I said, it is scoring reasonably well, so it's always worth a watch, isn't it? So let me know what you think. Anyway, so I was a little bit disappointed. I was hoping for a little bit more. Anyway, thanks for watching. What we're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Until we meet again, please stay safe, everyone. Do the same. Goodbye for now.